on the porch. You've been working twice as hard for something you already got. Another orange morning, it's time to show. Another orange morning, it's time to grow. Another orange morning, let the updates flow. Another orange morning, you already know. Friends are coming through the door. Wheels are spinning on the floor. We don't know what we don't know. That's the only way to grow. Oh, another orange morning, it's time to show. Another orange morning, it's time to grow. Another orange morning, let the updates flow. Another orange morning, you already know. What you're looking for is in your hand, been there all along. Pour another cup and pull a chair. Sing along. Another orange morning, it's time to show. Another orange morning, it's time to grow. Another orange morning, let the updates flow. Another orange morning, you already know. Hey! Hey!
Good morning, HubSpot Nation. Welcome to another Orange Morning. It is Wednesday, July 22nd, 2026. We're wearing orange here with Zach and Casey. Thanks so much, Zach, for covering last week while I was doing the boot camp. Appreciate it,
I
man.
did my best, I think we'll see how many times I call it another Orange Monday today, since that seemed to be something stuck in my brain for whatever reason. So it's like another Orange Monday on Wednesday, but we'll try to stick with the name that you gave it, which is another Orange Morning. Let's get a counter going for how many times I screw that up today.
Zach's really taking the entrepreneurship to the next level. He's like, Wednesdays, those are my Mondays.
Yeah, I didn't know things are going well for Zach. I didn't know they were going that well.
So well that I
Yeah.
have no idea what day of the week it is.
Yeah. Well, we left on a cliffhanger yesterday, and I have a habit of not paying those off. So I'm not going to do that this time.
We're going to start with that, right?
Yes.
Okay.
We
That's
are going to.
like any good cliffhanger. Look, famously, I watch a lot of reality TV. You guys start with the cliffhanger.
Right. And we start with like where we were,
Mhm.
right?
Last
And
time on
So, yeah,
another Orange Morning.
You gotta give me a quick nickel tour here of like what this thing is. It basically like describe an app, deploy it to your portal.
Yep. And
That's
So
it.
that's it. What do we mean by
It kind of speaks for
apps?
itself, doesn't it?
Yeah. Like what do we give me context in terms of like what do you mean by building an app in HubSpot?
right. So for some, it might be as easy as vibe coding inside of HubSpot. If you've ever had the experience of using Lovable or Replit, even some of the interfaces with Claude or GPT, or like an app is being built as you talk, like to the agent. For others, maybe a conversational no-code tool that lets you describe a custom app in plain language and have it deployed directly into your HubSpot portal might make sense, especially the no developer needed, no code. But that's what it is. And I think the key, sometimes you have to get like the context clue from the tool that's on the right. And so this is Breeze Assistant being able to do this for us. And if you remember Dharmesh's announcement earlier this year when he announced Hubcode, it was like a 12-minute video and he just slid in and said, "Oh, but you can make a UI extension or you could make an app page." That was the first time I had heard of that phrase in relationship to HubSpot. And sure enough, share with my buddy Ryan. He's like, "Yeah, there's some API docs and there's some developer docs over here regarding app pages that I haven't seen it before either." But even there, you still have to go through the development platform. And my favorite example right now is like, this is my foray into this, but still using Cloud Code and things outside of HubSpot, having to go through the developer platform and press install at some point. Like, there's lots of code involved, right? Um, but now, where we came to yesterday is, what do you want to build? Right? And where we left it was, we were here, it was about 10 minutes in. And again, this is private beta early. The only way you can get to this URL is if you know what it is from looking at the product update page. But, and what I've learned since yesterday is, kind of like in other spots of the CMS and building stuff, like, there's a place where you build it, and then there's a place where you see it. And you can't always know what you're going to see until you go to the place that you're going to see it, right? Like, and that is the case here right now. So it was a content calendar to schedule and track HubSpot updates coverage across channels and series. And I think in my prompt I said, and how about another orange morning too?
Yeah.
And just for context, we have a HubSpot updates object in our CRM. So we're a little more confident in that ask. We're not asking to just go look at the product updates page and then structure data in a way that supports the ask, right? We've already got an object. We've got, I think, almost 300 of them, right? And that led to this content calendar app page without having to touch the development platform, right? It was a simple publish here with a little bit of trust, because I wasn't seeing what I felt like I was supposed to be seeing. I think the first time over here, it showed me a bunch of errors, can't see anything. And I was like, it's okay. Maybe I just have to talk to Breeze more. And as I was doing that, I came in back in to do that, and it was like done. It was like, just kidding, right? I often give advice inside of HubSpot. Don't trust the error messages. Just refresh the page, see what happens. But so this is now available for anybody in the Value First Team portal under the HubSpot Marketplace icon as content calendar, right?
Yeah, and one thing I called out when you sent it to me yesterday was, when we first read the update, one of the big limitations was it was only viewable to the person who built it. Again, this is private beta. Just like as they release things, that wasn't like a huge flag for me, but already being able to have Chris send it to me makes this immediately useful for us.
Yeah.
So the HubSpot update object that you built in your portal, is that something that you guys are like manually creating those records when you like, or are you pulling from the product update pages and then creating the objects, or like, because it's like, so basically like this app that you built is pulling off of that object data in HubSpot directly.
Yeah, so every day after the show, I use Claude's Chrome extension to make a table of all of the updates, the URLs, the status, the dates, the text. And then I give that to Claude through Cursor, so using a terminal, and that, and
That
I'm the
creates the
worst.
objects for you.
Yeah, I'm the worst prompter ever. I'm constantly just like, here they are, do what you usually do with this. And Claude's like, oh, sure.
I gotcha.
To be fair, there's a lot of agents and processes spec'd out to do
Right.
exactly this after a
Right.
show,
Yeah.
right? So it's not
It's not
that
just
simple.
that manual. Right.
Some work has been done behind the
Yeah.
scenes, right?
That's cool though.
And as we were building out like kind of the experience of the site, it's like, hey, does a custom object make sense? Because now the custom object serves the website, right? And makes it easier to go bigger in terms of getting clips ready. And like it at the beginning of this series, it was just like a text post with maybe some links. Now
Mhm.
we're creating space. And since that data is in the system,
Mhm.
like now, and we've been talking about this for a while over in Value First Land, like if you get your data right and your context right, and it's all in HubSpot, you're going to be in a position to like talk to Breeze to just build stuff, like build apps in HubSpot. And since yesterday, I have tried it.
When you
Uh,
prompted for this right here for the content calendar, you see like the drop down that says like hub status coverage and like the little summary up above that. Were those all specific things that you asked it, or it just you kind of asked for? And this is what? Wow.
Yeah, it was this plus another orange morning, like those words. And so this is just one object, right?
Mhm.
And so this is possible because of the object data, not unlike a CRM index record, right? And so much of this is like, do we have the creativity to know what we could do in HubSpot if we went and got a report or could go over a CRM index, maybe make some segments? Like we could go make a segment page or an index page that looks a lot like this,
Mhm.
right? But with what we're doing here and having it right next to another orange morning calendar,
Mhm.
you'd have to get a little more creative over in the campaigns object, and they're doing a great job over in that canvas to try and put this stuff together.
Mhm.
But then to say all series, okay, this is another object, right? So it still comes down to data model quality and data context quality, right?
Mhm.
But if you can like kind of think in terms of like, wouldn't it be nice to see all like answer these kinds of questions? We know the data's in here. We haven't really been able to get the reporting tool or the index view or the record view or whatever to look the way we want it. That's probably where you want to start.
Mhm.
But since yesterday, I've tried it a few times, and if you get into this private beta,
Waiting.
The tip that I'll give you, if I can get back to right, so client engagement task diary. So the tip is that it's very clunky to go like once you first build it, it's like a lot of faith is required to know that it's actually working, right? But when you refresh and then publish, it's the AI is working behind the scenes. Basically, it's just the user interface might not be telling you.
Mhm.
For example, I started this one about 2 hours ago, and it's never gotten past this point. And what I've asked for is because I was on a call with a client and it came up like, can we make this kind of report? We're bringing images in the system and we want to do a downloadable PDF. And, because we could do that over here in our other system. And of course, we want to do that in HubSpot now.
Mhm.
And it's like, well, maybe we can develop some stuff for you. We see the images in here, right? And we start to talk to Breeze to say, hey, can you make a PDF? Breeze almost got there by itself. But then we come over here and just give the straight prompt. And so I tested it. This is me testing it in our BFT portal first, which is, can you make a gallery app based on any client-related images that are associated to CRM records, was the ask here, right? And even though I can't see it, I'm gonna click publish to see what happens. And then I'm gonna exit. And even when I click back in, oh,
Timed out.
timed out. Dang it.
So you were
just-
thinking that it might have like actually built it in the background and just wasn't there for the preview and just a little glitchy.
That is what happened with these two, right? Where this one, I think I did it on the show with Nico yesterday. Like the initial prompt is like, dream it up, like whatever your dream app is. So I was like, all right, Breeze, what would my dream app be? And it came up with some really good options and helped me prompt this. And the first time it stalled at like 6 minutes. Then the second time I came in, it didn't show me any data, but it had it built out. And then the third time I refreshed, the data was there, right? And so that's why I winging a prayer, like maybe the publish button will kind of kick it into gear. I do think this was like a more complex ask, right? But this is the AI learning curve right now too. So to get to all your apps, you're going to view all, and then it brings you to this page, to which I see the client image gallery app is here, and I click on it, and yep. So this is my first failure out of the first 5, right?
It's not bad.
It's pretty good. If you build with AI, this is how you get better at it, right? And this has only been out a couple days. And I think one of the reasons this probably won't work is the image, like we're working with in the HubSpot language set, the same user interface for the UI extensions, like this this format, right, is very HubSpot like. So if there's no modules that exist already in HubSpot in the language to nicely show image galleries outside of the CMS, right, I might not be able to get to where I want to go. But either way, that is the payoff from yesterday. So what goes through your mind, Zach, when you think about, like, you see this, like, what do you want to build? We're inside of HubSpot.
Yeah, I almost don't know where to start.
I think that's why they have those like things at the bottom, because I agree, like yesterday Chris asked me to write the prompt and I was kind of like, where do you what do you to start with? So I'm hoping that during this like private beta, they build out some really cool use cases and stuff. I think that will be helpful for a lot of people.
Yeah, like I'm like thinking about like I have a relatively new client that I could see, like, for example, they distribute medical equipment. They service it, there's warranties involved, things like that. And, for them, having the 10,000 foot view that you can also zoom into to take a look at our the install base, right? Like, where are our products installed? What is their warranty status, or what is the status of this kind of stuff, right? I could see maybe being able to build some cool views to visualize that differently than what you would pull together like in an index page or a dashboard. I guess I don't know. I don't know. Like I haven't played with it yet, so I'm just not. I don't know yet what the outputs start looking like.
Yeah, and even what you built, Chris, yesterday for Another Orange Morning and the product updates. I mean, we asked for a content calendar. I
got one.
I didn't feel like that looked like a content calendar.
I got one.
Go ahead.
What about like if I wanted to build a dashboard of like my team's HubSpot certifications? Would we be able to tap into that at all, do you think? Like, hey, like what does the team, I know that you can go into HubSpot Academy, you can kind of see, right? But it's like, hey, what certs do the team have? When do they expire? What are some recommendations for ones that maybe we need to get? That would be like something internally that I could see this being like a home for making sure the team stays up to date on certain things.
Yeah, I think that's where when you look at the update, like they are building this out for Breeze Assistant, right? So if I think first ask is, can Breeze Assistant do it?
Access that information.
Right. Does it have access to the HubSpot Academy data?
Right.
Which again, when you think back to last year, some people made a big deal about, oh, it's in the app now. The Academy is in the app. Like we don't have to click and go to a different place. This was probably on that horizon, like the way that user roles are being managed and skill management. And now that it is in the app, like Breeze has a chance. It might already be able to. But yeah, I think that's the first ask. And then that's probably it, right? Like don't overthink it out of the gate. And if you don't have like any ideas coming to mind, ask Breeze, right? But by the end of the day yesterday, I was on the show with Nico and it's like, I don't have any ideas right now. And I saw the word dream and I went over to Breeze Assistant based on what you know about me, what would be a dream app? And it gave me some really, really good ideas, right? So if this is interesting for you, but you don't know, maybe you haven't touched AI yet at all. You haven't built apps, right? This is why it's so powerful, but you know how to talk to Breeze Assistant? You can come over here to the apps page and Breeze will see it, like, and then suggest some good prompts, right? Based on what your goals are. So, yeah, so we'll let this cook a little bit. And in the meantime, give space for some other updates.
Just so you know, Breeze cannot access HubSpot Academy certification data right now.
Yeah, been my guess, but I never count Breeze Assistant out at this point.
Doesn't hurt to ask.
And who knows? Maybe I ask in my portal.
Yeah, you have a special portal.
And it does. But have you seen the Revenue Hub billing portal yet, Zach?
No. Was that one? Oh, that came out today.
I think
Right?
it went live today. Scheduled for release the 23rd. So
See,
right
this
on
is what I'm
schedule.
saying. You got a special portal because it's not in mine.
Yep. So what is it? Your buyers want to manage their own billing. Now they can. The billing portal lets them securely log in to view subscriptions and invoices, pay what they owe, and update payment methods all on their own with no tickets, no back and forth, no waiting on you. Less busy work for your team, more trust from your buyers. Everybody wins.
Why does it matter? Right now, every billing update is a manual scramble. Buyers email you, you chase down details, payments slip through the cracks. The billing portal flips the script, fewer failed payments, buyers keep their own payment methods current. less support overhead, routine billing requests handle themselves, built-in compliance, billing data stays secure and regulation ready, and more buyer trust. Self-service is the experience your buyers expect.
Interesting. I have not seen this, but I like it.
I think it's an easy win for a lot of companies out there.
It's basically just like a you don't have to customize any portal or do anything. It's just like there's a portal here. So like just like if you wanted to go look at your billing information for your HubSpot licensing and you wanted to change, who the billing contact was, or change your, from invoicing to credit card payments, or update your credit card number, or anything that you need. Are you past due on, it's all in there. Similar.
Can you imagine having to contact Amazon to update any information, like at all, whether it's orders, addresses, like, and I've been talking about this since probably 2020, 2021, when they first came out with like payment links and stuff, and just the click that it's harder to get to, but it's there. Like, people want to maintain their own data when they're exchanging money with you.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And so often it's like, well, that's our role in the process. And I'm the arbiter of this system of data. And really, like, they need to email me. Right. There's a lot of people that take pride in owning this piece of the process, and, being on the Johnny on the spot for like email responses and phone calls. But at some point, you can lessen the burden on your teams in a big way if you just put data over in this spot.
I'm going to play devil's advocate on this one. So, as a HubSpot partner, right? Like, I have clients, and most of those clients receive, an invoice from me, and then they have the option to pay, credit card, check, ACH, right? And when we first get people set up, it's like, well, who's my billing contact over there? Because I got to get you set up in my, in the system to make sure that you're receiving this stuff. And then that billing person changes on their end, right? So their accounts payable person leaves or moves to a new role, whatever, retires, gets fired. Somebody at that organization needs to know that when that happens, their process is to log into one of potentially hundreds of vendors, right? But you got to log into Zach's HubSpot payment portal. And now the responsibility is on you to go make that update. I don't see it happening. I think you're still going to need people to, sweep the shit around.
Yeah, that's fair. I think that the objective is to not have shit to sweep around.
Yes, a
right?
good intention. But I think when the rubber hits the road here, it's like, like, I know it's like, it's tough for me when I have certain clients who are like, well, your standard process, however, you got to log into our portal. You have to submit your invoices there. We have to approve them there. Like, you're doing everything on our terms.
Right.
And I'm like, this sucks. I don't want to do that, but I want to get paid. So I have to do that. If I don't remember to do that, I don't get paid. It's like so it's another step in the, but imagine now that I had 50 customers that all basically said, you got to go into our portal and do your shit. Now, how do you manage that?
Right. It's
I'm just playing devil's advocate.
No, it's great. It's the real tug of war.
Yeah.
Right. Like, because I remember when starting to talk about this stuff, like the concept of the company I worked for having a customer portal, like, wasn't attractive to the CEO necessarily, because he didn't like having to abide by other customer portals from the bigger companies. Right. And so where the opportunity is, and what I meant by not having shit to shovel around, is like, it's all about the experience. Like if it is a pain in the ass to update the data, it's like, yeah, I don't want another one of those portals.
Right.
But imagine we're on a call, like a separate client call, and it's like, and somebody just mentions to Zach, oh yeah, this person, they just left. So this Casey Hawkins is gonna be our new billing contact.
And you can just like, here's a link, go update your info, please.
And then transcript comes into HubSpot, updates the right creates the contact record that wasn't even a part of the call. You didn't even have their email address. I'm loving when AI does that for me right now.
Sure.
Associates them as the billing contact. They get an automatic email. Welcome to the team. Here's a link to update the data. Right? When you can achieve that, like, wow, like all of a sudden you're the best friend. You're the best vendor they can think of. And just, it takes a lot to get there. But if you, like most of what you're paying for when we pay for HubSpot is to achieve moments like that.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
Yeah. That's a great, ideal scenario right there that you just described, is, to be able to get to that level. That's the North Star, right? That's the North Star for everybody. And it's, again, I'm playing kind of devil's advocate there, but kind of like how not everybody wants to communicate with phone calls and emails. Some people want to use a chat, right? Not everybody wants to get their information from a webinar. They want to get your blog post. It's basically showing up in the various ways that people want to engage with and giving them those options. It may not be that, hey, we're forcing everybody to use this thing, but if you want to, you can.
Right.
Right. And maybe that is enough where a percentage of your clients are like, this is awesome. Like, I love having this. So I don't think it's like you have to funnel everything through it. It just is hey, here's another option that we could provide for you. If you want to work this way with us, we can work this way with you.
Yeah. You have to get them to want it. Right. Here's an interesting one that caught my eye as soon as I opened up this page. Customizable title card on CRM records in private beta. What is it?
Title card.
You can now choose which properties appear in the title card. The prominent area at the top left of every CRM record and at the top of the preview sidebar, replacing HubSpot defaults with the fields that matter most to your team.
You might tackle this one. Why does it matter? Different teams need different information front and center. A sales rep working a contact wants phone number and time zone visible at a glance. A deal team needs custom amount fields, not HubSpot's defaults. An ops manager needs a project's custom status property on the record page. Previously, the title card displayed a fixed set of properties with no way to change them. With a customizable title card, admins can surface the properties their team actually rely on, reducing clicks and removing irrelevant defaults from the most visible area of every record. So basically, it's like instead of just adding whatever custom properties you want to the left side under some property group in order to display what you want, now you can just say, well, we can update this title card here and move that stuff around, which is pretty neat, because some of these are not super relevant for some teams, but it's stuck there. And sometimes you're like, oh, there's a property that shows up in this title card that we don't even use.
Right. And it pisses people off. And they're like, why does HubSpot suck? You can't even change this. Like, we've been able to do this everywhere else.
You know what's funny?
On the record.
Because that was never anything you could change. I never even referred to or knew it was called the title card, because it was just, to me, it was this thing that was always there. And it's like, it's just part of the left-hand column, but now it has a name and we can change it. That's cool.
Yep. And those moments where you can change it, but then you can't edit it because of the way it's formatted. They're just, a lot of that stuff is going away. So it's good to see this kind of be the last bastion of customization on a record. maybe soon enough we'll be able to collapse that left sidebar.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, it sounds like that, like from other things we've talked about, that whole left sidebar may not even be there. So
Yeah.
Right.
yeah.
What else? Uh,
I think that the one, are we looking at today and yesterday or just kind of whatever?
whatever.
I think that the Slack CRM card that just got smarter sounds kind of cool. I like the ability to like get like AI summaries of all the conversations you've had. So like for us at Hush, we have, every client has its own Slack channel, and it's just internal, right? We just, so we can keep our conversation separate about like what's going on with that one client. It's not for external. We don't, kind of open that up to anybody else but ourselves. But if we could bring all the context of all the conversations and everything that we're talking about on Slack for that client and bring it into a, I don't know if it would be like probably just like a company, company record maybe. That seems like it's pretty cool.
Yeah. Give us the AI generated summaries all over the place, including the places where we can double check like the context right next to it. So very cool there. This one is getting my attention. Public API for CRM pipeline rules.
You might get excited about this one more.
It could go either way. I have thoughts for sure. A public API that lets you manage CRM pipeline rules, including rules for editing objects based on pipeline stage creation restrictions, backwards movement, stage skipping, and deal approval requirements.
So basically, like, when today, if you had an API, you could set those rules to change data in HubSpot in ways that the HubSpot kind of workflow or model that you've designed wouldn't typically allow for. Is that kind of like, so it's like I could create a connection that would change, maybe it would set a life cycle stage backwards, but like I can't do that via automation in HubSpot the same way. And so is this kind of like putting the same guardrails on your integrations to say, like, I know you can do this kind of stuff, but we don't necessarily, like, we want to put some guardrails in that for how you should? Is that kind of what it is?
Yes. Yeah. It makes it easier to set up a lot of stuff. You used to have to rely on stuff like Super to do, just because the setup's been so clunky and you can't make it look exactly like you want. Trying to find a good example here. I actually have to go into one of the pipelines. So let's do this one. Pipeline rules. There we go.
Right.
So stuff like this, and then if I were to click on any of these,
Right.
then I would be able to manage the rules related to that.
Because it's like, if you want to restrict things from moving backwards in your pipeline, and you check that box, nobody can move a deal backwards in their pipeline, right?
Yep.
Unless they're like a super admin. But if you had like HubSpot pushing data into some other system and there was a sync there and you wanted to move the stage backwards, you could probably do it in that other system, but then it would most likely error out or something would be misaligned then in HubSpot. And so this is saying, like, well, we're going to allow that to happen, or not,
Right.
not allow it to happen. Right.
Yeah. I think the reason I said it could go either way is, like, when I think of backwards movement and stage skipping, I think of unreasonable RevOps requests to say, well, even though the human didn't take that journey, I need reporting to work. So we're going to say that they went through all these stages, even though the first time we ever saw them was quoting and they're ready to buy. They were never an MQL in our system, but because that's how reporting works, we're forcing them through these stages, right? Versus protecting the human on either side from just doing the wrong thing at the wrong time because it's going to be a bad experience for everybody involved. Like that's where you want the rules and the guardrails. So I have some mixed feelings about making that easier for everybody. But if you're going to use it right now, so many people are managing HubSpot from outside of HubSpot. I'm one of those people, so I want access to all the APIs all the time, right? So
Yes.
they're gonna keep coming.
There's only one here that I see it's got a little trending box next to it. Oh, yours is different. Look at you. I got the
calendar. Yeah.
Well, not that one. I got the smart deal progression, deal emails, and next best actions. Looks like that got an update yesterday.
And that's
which for you just filter like for like last updated yesterday. Oh, see, you got way more stuff in here. What the heck?
They're trying to do it based on like
I know
behavior and license type
but you don't even have that in there, the smart deal shown in there. Smart deal progression, it's called.
Note taker with smart deal progression.
No. Weird.
Yeah, that's we're used to that on the show.
Yeah, I mean, not weird, but you know,
sometimes we can click on the exact same update and see some different text over here.
We tried.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, if you haven't touched this yet, some of the emails I get after calls that are just like dead on accurate for follow-ups and tasks. And then you click into HubSpot from those and it brings you to this nice area now. It's got transcript and the recorded videos. Recorded videos, that's the hard part, right? Like they give you the link right away and then the video's not ready.
Yeah.
And
what's your tech stack look like when it comes to note takers? Are you 100% just all in on the HubSpot note taker for all of your calls, or do you supplement with anything else for getting like meeting transcripts and notes and stuff? Because right now, like unless something's changed, right, you can't get full transcript from a third-party note taker into HubSpot. Like it's just going to give you a summary. There's a character limit, I think, still that you can't exceed. So you get a summary and a link to that third-party tool where you can get the transcript and stuff. But the HubSpot note taker, you get full transcript context. So for me, it's like I find myself every meeting, I got my HubSpot note taker in there, and then we landed with Circle Back is what we're using for and there's some nice advantages to both. But I didn't know like how was Chris specifically kind of solving that challenge.
Yep. So not using the note taker exactly. So I'm not even sure. It has to do with the Google Meet integration.
Okay.
That I never did any setup, right? It was just like, yeah, that sounds like a good thing to turn on. And it's just gotten better over time. And all of a sudden you start getting these emails. But then outside, since I'm not like the note taker comes through, like if it's not my call, right? That's where you want to have the extra note taker, right? So I only get that advantage when it's my Google meeting, right?
Right, because the HubSpot note taker won't join if it's somebody else's. You're saying, or
no? I'm saying that's when you need it. Like, so it's a note taker in that sense, where it's like Fireflies or like any of the other spots where you can have it join those calls. I think I know it's ebbed and flowed since they first introduced it. But also when it's not my call, since that's so much out of my control, I use Crisp to capture audio with whatever's going on my screen at any time. So including this show. So I don't have to rely solely on the StreamYard block of text
Right.
that I get.
Right.
But yeah, so thanks again. Casey had some unfortunate technical difficulties today, but we'll be back again tomorrow for another Orange Morning. Thanks so much, Zach.
You got it. Thanks, Chris. Nice seeing you, man.